Imagine if the lights went out across the entire country, not just for a day or two, but for months or even years. No power means no heat, no refrigeration, no transportation, no cell phones, and for many, no running water. How would you survive a long-term blackout? To learn more, get your free copy of How to Create an Off-Grid System You Can Bet Your Life On. It's free from our sponsor, Point Zero Energy. Find out what it takes to power basic living essentials during a one-week power outage, for example. Again, how would you survive without power? Get your free copy now by registering and visiting our sponsor, Point Zero Energy, at pointzeroenergy.com. Don't wait. Click the link below right now. Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Green, and you're tuning in to AMTV, Alternative Media Television. It's Monday, August 1st, 2016. And Khizr Khan is a plant working for Hillary Clinton, the Muslim Brotherhood, in order to encourage radical jihadi terrorism to enter the United States, who's actually working on Muslim radical Islam. That's important. Not just Muslim, but radical Islam. Terrorists, helping to bring them into the United States through his law practice. All documented, confirmed fact. A mouthpiece for Hillary Rodham Clinton, being used as a propaganda tool, as we see from establishment politics again and again, and these criminals that make up our government, this cartel that makes up the Clintons and the Clintonistas, being used as a mouthpiece to attack Trump during the DNC convention.
Donald Trump consistently smears the character of Muslims. He disrespects other minorities, women, judges, even his own party leadership. He vows to build walls and ban us from this country.
Isn't it amazing that Donald Trump had a mother speak about her fallen child who fell as a result of the terrorist act that made up Benghazi Gate, another scandal that Hillary Rodham Clinton and the Obama administration are responsible for. And mainstream media bullshit entities like MSNBC wrote it off as some kind of hit piece to attack the Democratic Party. Yet when Khizr Khan, a con job, a mouthpiece, a propaganda tool for Hillary Clinton, again, working for radical Islam, Wahhabi terrorism, and potentially as a plant of the Muslim Brotherhood, MSNBC looks at that as some kind of big story, is some kind of justification to paint the picture that Donald Trump is a racist, even though his comments continue to be taken out of context time and time again. Again, what's wrong with stopping the illegal migration of terrorists entering the United States if they're slaughtering innocent civilians? You know, like what we see in France time and time again, whether or not it was the Paris attacks or it was the man who drove a truck into innocent civilians in Nice, murdering dozens. How is that a bad thing? It's not. You see, it's just common sense. But the Democratic Party and Hillary Rodham Clinton, who Khizr Khan got it right when he said the term black soul, not about Donald Trump, but that's what Hillary Clinton is, a black, deceptive, deceitful, evil, satanic soul. Notice that she wore a white dress to accept her nomination of the DNC party for a reason, even though she should be wearing a black dress. Because again, she is a model and a spokesperson for this satanic ideology that makes up American politics today. So it's amazing that MSNBC, CNN are giving this all kinds of airtime. Again, it's to be expected because the mainstream media giants, including Wolfie Blitzer, who was toasting at the DNC when he's supposed to be an impartial journalist, toasting people like Hillary Rodham Clinton, are working for this same person, this same woman. Again, if there was any justice in America, Hillary Clinton would have been prosecuted by the FBI Director James Comey, but none of that happened because she is above the law. Now, lots happened since we put out our videos from Las Vegas. We got a series of amazing videos. Steve Forbes, George Foreman, Don King, Gary Johnson, Peter Schiff, Doug Casey, and many others. We had both conventions, the DNC and the RNC, and we also had Julian Assange leak out, courtesy of WikiLeaks, some confidential material that's now been leaked to the public that Hillary Rodham Clinton and her administration want to somehow paint the picture that it was coming from Russia and Vladimir Putin, that it's some kind of Russian hit job, even though I don't think that to be the case at all. In fact, I actually think Julian Assange works for Hillary Clinton. And I'm dead serious. I think Julian Assange is an intelligence agent of the United States of America. Contrary to Edward Snowden, who I believe, in my humble opinion, works for Russia. So that they would be right about. I think Snowden, in fact, Snowden and both Assange have been engaged in a war of words recently regarding the recent leaks that took down Wasserman, the head of the DNC, which only proved, and should prove to the American public, that again, they don't have a choice. This is an election, it's a selection. Bernie Sanders, this is what people don't understand about Bernie Sanders, was always working for Hillary Rodham Clinton. Always. And I've got videos a year and a half ago that said just that to prove it. Hillary Clinton won the debate because everybody there, including Bernie Sanders, and this will probably piss some people off, have actually endorsed her. Yeah, that's right. Bernie Sanders endorsed Hillary Rodham criminal Clinton, Benghazi Gate whore witch Clinton, in yesterday's debate. At one point, he was actually given an opportunity on a silver platter to pounce. Remember, this is a debate. You're supposed to pounce. You're supposed to criticize. You're supposed to attack. And he made a very profound statement. He said America is tired of the damn emails. Take a look.
Let me say something that may not be great politics, but I think the Secretary is right. And that is that the American people are sick and tired of hearing about your damn emails.
Thank you. Me too. Me too.
You know?
Because it was obvious. She had no real competition. Who was her competition? Bernie Sanders, who is very much a self-proclaimed socialist. Again, I think they're testing the waters here in America, even though Hillary Rodham Clinton is just as much of a socialist, I think, as Bernie Sanders. And then O'Malley, who most Americans even ever heard of before. So Hillary Rodham Clinton had already been selected over a year and a half ago, yet people really bought into Bernie Sanders. They thought he was different, only to have Bernie Sanders endorse Hillary Rodham Clinton at the DNC, which is exactly what I said that he would do a year and a half ago. Because again, what people don't understand about Bernie Sanders is he was always working for this evil, satanic bitch. Now, Khizr Khan and his linkage to the Muslim Brotherhood has been corroborated by political advocate, or operative is probably a better term, Roger Stone. And we'll provide links in the description box below. Many links corroborating his linkage, his work with the Muslim Brotherhood, and that really suggests that he's a plant working to bring Sharia law into the United States of America and arguably more terrorism. Using, which this is just amazing, the death of his son. And by the way, his son wasn't forced to fight in Iraq, if he did at all. Even if that's true, who knows? That could be a total fabrication as well. His son chose to fight and die for America in the Iraq War. A war, by the way, that Hillary Rodham Clinton voted for and Donald Trump didn't vote for at all because he wasn't a politician at that point. Nobody's talking about that. In fact, Khizr Khan's son would still be alive today if it wasn't for Hillary Rodham Satan Clinton, the con job bitch that she is, now using Mr. Khan as a mouthpiece to service her agenda. He's too polished. Have you seen him on CNN? Have you seen him on the mainstream boob tube? And his wife, who never speaks, even though Donald Trump called him out on that, she still won't speak. At least I haven't heard her speak yet. Probably, again, because he believes in Sharia Islamic law. And again, nothing against Muslims at all. I'm talking about radical Islam. There's a difference. I'm talking about terrorism, not the good Muslims here in the United States. I've defended good Muslims since the inception of this channel. In fact, I'm one of the few people in the alternative media that defend the good-hearted, amazing American Muslim population here in the United States of America. I'm pretty much the only one. If you go to the other sources, even in alternative media, they've demonized all of them. And I do think that's wrong. But in this case, it's total and utter political propaganda. But here's where the rub is. Here's what's a shame. Even though with facts I can link Khizr Khan and his law practice to the Muslim Brotherhood through corroborating evidence, this linkage to bring mass migration of radical Islamic terrorism to the United States, the mass population still won't believe it. In fact, I even think it's been positioned that way strategically by Hillary Rodham Clinton and her political operatives to discredit the quote-unquote truther movement and those that actually look at the evidence, actual evidence and facts, with a good eye. That's the shame here, is that people like Roger Stone won't be taken seriously. People like me won't be taken seriously by the mainstream media, by the general masses who consume the bullshit that makes up CNN and MSNBC. Again, isn't it interesting that MSNBC would present the mother of a fallen child as a result of Benghazi as some kind of political right-wing slander? But then juxtaposed to Khizr Khan, somehow he's doing a service to the American people and the American political machine that makes up Hillary Rodham Clinton wearing her freaking white dress, even though she's a byproduct and a living testimony to satanic ritual here in the United States of America. Notice how her husband Bill literally fell asleep. He literally fell asleep on camera during her acceptance speech. And he was playing with balloons. I mean, he just honestly, the guy's lost his mind. I've even heard speculation, and there could be some truth to this, that in the coming weeks, Hillary Clinton will announce that Bill Clinton is very seriously ill, which may in fact be true, but she'll be using it for political advantage so Donald Trump cannot attack her at the presidential debate. She'll say, how can you possibly attack a womanizing, alleged rapist like Bill Clinton when he's dying, when he's ill, when he's potentially in hospice? Notice how they've also choreographed the debates to conflict directly with some major NFL football games. For a reason. Again, Donald Trump is going to destroy Hillary rotten Clinton during the presidential debates, which is why she doesn't want most Americans to tune into it. She doesn't want Americans to see what a shit show that will actually be, because he will destroy her. Again, Hillary Clinton voted for the Iraq War. The son of Khizr Khan and his wife would still be alive today if it wasn't for Hillary rotten Clinton. And again, they're using him as a plant, as a mouthpiece to further the agenda of the Democratic Party and the DNC, this criminal party that makes up Wasserman, who's just been discredited by WikiLeaks, who I think, honest to God, works for U.S. intelligence. I mean, he was on CNN the other day, too, with Anderson Cooper, for crying out loud. They've got access to him. He's a fugitive, but he only leaks enough, but it never really it brought down Wasserman, but it never brings down Hillary Clinton. He says that he's going to bring down Hillary Clinton next. Honestly, I don't believe you, Julian Assange. I think you're full of shit. I think you're just making statements, because I've heard it all before. Until you bring down Hillary Rodham Clinton, zip your lips. Again, Assange likely working for United States intelligence, the CIA, covertly, even though the American public don't know it. Edward Snowden, in my humble opinion, a Russian agent, probably always has been, or maybe potentially a double and triple agent. I've done several reports on this. This is the truth of American politics today. A rotten system that has only given the American people two, what a lot of Americans are saying, bad options. You see, I'm more anti-Hillary Rodham Clinton than I am pro-Trump. You know, her divine right to continue her family's legacy as, you know, the most powerful person on the planet. Her and Bill, who is falling asleep during her acceptance speeches and playing with balloons, will probably announce he's sick soon. Hillary Clinton doesn't even look that good, even though she's got millions of dollars worth of makeup and clothes on and personal assistants. Still looks like shit when you watch her speak at the DNC. I mean, her health looks pretty bad as well. Khizr Khan, a radical plant of the Muslim Brotherhood with strong linkages, which can be proven in the description box below. Look for our sources corroborated by people like Roger Stone, others, and myself. But again, in this mass web of lies and deception, I would argue this is part of the Clinton strategy. Again, to put this out there, and then even though the evidence can be dug up, still discredit that same hardcore evidence. The web is deep, folks. There's a strategy behind all of this. And it's just theater. It's all it is. It's political theater. Again, a year and a half ago, I talked about the fact that not only would Donald Trump be the nominee, which people didn't believe me at the time, and now he is, because he's riding that wave of political incorrectness, that political vacuum that people wanted, telling us like it is, making common sense statements like putting a temporary halt to the immigration of radical terrorists into the United States. I don't see how that's racist or anti-constitutional or anything like that. It's just common sense to put a halt to that. I mean, the radical left even uses the same argument for the confiscation of guns in the Second Amendment in this country, yet flip on the issue when it comes to Muslims. It makes no sense at all. But again, this is a convoluted web. And I also talked about a year and a half ago how I thought that this would come down to the wire with Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. It would give us the illusion that there was going to be some change with the Donald. But eventually, he would be edged out by a gnat's ass by Hillary Rotten Clinton, who's already been selected by the establishment to win the 2016 election and continue a third term of Barack Hussein Obama. I encourage you to watch Dinesh D'Souza's film, Hillary's America. I haven't seen it yet. Of course, we just interviewed him at Freedom Fest. Notice how the mainstream media hasn't done a single review. Some of you out there, most Americans, haven't even heard of the film, even though it's the highest grossing film to come out this year in documentary format. It's grossed, I think, over $5 million in its first opening weekend. Yet not even a peep from CNN, MSNBC, or the other bullshit entities that make up the mainstream media machine today. For a reason. Again, get this video out everywhere. This man, Khizr Khan, a Muslim Brotherhood plant, working for Hillary Rodham Clinton. Hardcore evidence in the description box below. Get it out everywhere, make it viral, hard-hitting it in your face. I'm Christopher Green, and you're tuning into AMTV, Alternative Media Television.